white boy will just make sure he mess up the minds of your people. So there has to be a fight back. And if you don't fight back against psychological warfare and mental enslavement of our people, we will not survive. And people thinking that we will survive, we will not survive if we don't fight.
It's a war that involves miseducation. It's a religious war. It's a spiritual war. And so this is what we are up against. We've been fighting this war for over 500 years. And if we're really clear about what is happening around the world, I can see that the war is reaching a critical turning point.
How did it go? We're gonna jump and shout. Africa Liberation Day. You know, I'm not sure if people realize that there are some out there who want to change what we're doing. They want us to call it Africa Day, as if liberation has arrived. I don't know who thinks that, but it's not here yet. The struggle is still on. We have work to do.
Like Khaleesi from the Game of Thrones, I want my people to be free. For his story is telling me we were and are the Afro kings and queens and godly beings that those in control now inspire to be. Oh my, my Afro kings and queens, have we fell that far down the apple tree? Turning on one another, a burial every day across the many lands and seas. I see mothers with lost sons, fathers with no daughters, some parents even run and flee. Talking about babies having babies. Well, those babies are now the babies that are killing babies due to the lack of knowledge and shackles forced upon generations before you and me. But the question is, my brothers and sisters, how did they take our ancestors' knowledge and use it against you and me? Another is, what is the real message behind the religion which was also forced upon you and me? I don't know if you noticed, but I've noticed that the concepts embedded in religion was also born from the traditional and indigenous practices of ancient African spirituality. Just imagine, in 200 years, what would it be?
Edison Banji. I'm part of an organization called Ancestral Essence. We started it about 3 years ago with the aim of simplifying African spirituality.
I'm Brother Malak from the AWF Nation. AWF stands for African World Federation. We're a group of African people globally trying to build an organization to deal with some of the issues concerning our people globally.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm Yuande Ogunaike.
As a policeman, if I come to take your life,
I was, well, not actually brought up in it. I was born into it more.
Okay.
Brought up. And there was a kind of a detachment from there because although I was born into it, it's just crazy because I didn't actually live with my parents.
Okay.
So I was in and out of my mother's house.
Okay.
Throughout my childhood.
Okay.
Yeah, but I knew about it. I knew about it from very early.
Okay.
Because of my mum, I suppose.
Okay.
She didn't like all the other mums, so to me I was very observant.
Well, to me, the whole concept has been misconstrued.
Okay.
It's now become almost a religion in some aspects. Whereas people initially started it back in the days to understand the spirit of the individual. Now it's almost become a situation where people are trying to give it rules, regulations, dogma, all different things, trying to have it coincide with the Western world and the Western idea of magic, or the Western. See, originally it was just science, and the science of how your spirit operates in this reality.
People, we'll just put this out there. A lot of people hear African spirituality and they're just scared. Because we have to understand that, we're coming from slavery. So based on that slavery, anything to do with Africa, we don't want nothing to do with it. They've programmed us in a way that they've done a crafty job that as soon as we hear Africa, we think of dark side. Africa, Obia. So if you was to say African spirituality to the average, black person on the road, they're going to be scared. They're going to be thinking, what does he mean? Is he into some type of witchcraft? Like, this is how we think. So first things first, so in my opinion or definition of African spirituality is, an African person's spirituality in simplicity.
Okay.
You know, if you have European, you know, spirituality, it's just a European spirituality. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a dark side element. And you know, I would question, why is it automatically we think it's a dark side?
It's called voodoo in Haiti as a manifestation. In other parts of Africa, it's called other things. But what we're talking is the traditional or indigenous African spiritual system that belongs to the African worldview, and that is what's under attack.
You must resort to physical force.
Life, it's in everything. It's simple. It's nature, especially the water. Everything actually. You know, it's earth, water, fire, and air.
Okay.
It's utilizing it, balancing. Numbers are very important, which is rhythm.
Okay.
Rhythm, very much rhythm.
Okay.
Very much. And it's not just in the fact that we know that we as Africans have that connection with that energy of rhythm, but learning how to utilize it is part of life, or African spirit, my in terms of my feelings and thoughts and practice.
A belief is accepting something without proof, you know, and I don't believe in anything. You know, I know things are or things are not. So knowledge cancels out belief. And as I look at the logo for Black Ice, information and knowledge, right? Our organization in DC is called IKG, Information, Knowledge, and Growth. So you have to get data first. You have to study that data, see how that data manifests itself in your life. And once you study how that data moves through life, then that gives you knowledge. And once you understand how that knowledge has played itself out continuously, then it's through the application of that knowledge that you grow, right? Belief leaves you stuck. Believing is for hopers, people who hope. Believing is for people who dream, right? Which is one of the reasons why back in the States, white folk who killed Dr. Martin Luther King embraced him only after he was dead, and they reduced this man to one moment in history, to one speech, to 4 words, I have a dream. And anybody who understood this man would know that he wasn't a dreamer, he was a visionary. But as long as they keep us locked down in a dream state, then they've won. Because in order for a dream to manifest itself, you got to be asleep. Dreams only work when you're asleep. But the issues that we're confronted with are issues that will be overcome by us having a vision and allowing that vision to pull us into a future that we create, right? So it's the application of knowledge. So to more specifically address your question, what I know by understanding the cycles of history is that what it normally takes to move the masses of people in a specific direction is a great disaster.
Warning, the arts of you, all that is on here, creator of all, heart that spirit, in Elysium Moya, in Elysium Moya, in Elysium Moya.
Easy verso under the zonke, 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 easy verso under the zonke. Easy verso under the zonke, 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 easy verso under the zonke.